Welcome, one and all, to the very final adventures of the God Slayer dynasty. Hundreds of years of preparation, hundreds of years of weird cultures, weird religions, dungeon master fuckery, and it all comes down to exactly this moment, where today, well, we'll begin at least today, but over the course of the next few episodes, the goal is to finally get an invasion against China, to put our dynasty on the Dragon Throne, as has been the plan for the entire campaign ever since the start, when we start becoming Han Horse. The goal was always to go for China, and here we are. Generations of work and cultural mergers, etc., has brought us to this moment. And, of course, yesterday, or at least the episode before that, I'll explain more about that in a second, we managed to get a border with the very edge of the map by doing a little hopping through Siberia here, all the way over to the very eastern part of the map, which gives us that ability to declare war. We're not ready yet, though. There were some very, very good comments on last episode about the best ways to go about the war with China. Now, in some ways, we have a pretty massive benefit. Already, I've got hiccups. It's not up to a great start. Already, we've got a pretty massive benefit in that we are very limited to the complete west part of the map. And not only that, a lot of our borders are very tight, quite well unified. I do want to do a little bit of tidying here and there to make it a little more easily managed. But there are a few things that we need to get into place first. We're certainly not going to open this episode up by declaring war or anything like that. We've got a little bit of management to do. There is always the question as well of do we want to start a literal world war here with a ruler who is 70 years old. She's one of the best martial characters we're ever going to have. You know, every generation has had something unique about it in this playthrough, and this character is no exception to that. 56 martial, 70 years of age, 288 personal combat. She is the perfect army, the perfect leader for our armies. The problem is she's 70 and has cancer. All it would take is, you know, like a battlefield maiming, a minor disease, being wounded, something like that, to go along with the fact that she's already taken a lot of you know, life-shortening injuries during her time as a duelist here. I'm a little bit concerned about her longevity. 7.5 health according to the tooltip. I would say let's not worry about that too much. You see through the eyes, well, eye in this case, of the heroes of old facing the challenges brought upon them by the gods. Through their hardships, you learn to adapt, improve, and overcome. Thank you, Bear Grylls. 25% chance of gaining one of the stats there. That's not exclusive either, so it's a 25% chance of gaining a diplomacy, then it'll be a 25% chance of gaining a martial. So we got a 125% chance of gaining something. We gained one learning. Obviously that's not how that works. Take it with a grain of salt. So I think over the course of the next few episodes I will do a little light editing here and there, particularly if we're just waiting for plots to fire, armies to reinforce. I want to make sure all the pieces are in place before we begin what is honestly a very ambitious war from an empire that isn't that massive. As I said previously, the only other times I fought China is when I was, you know, Rome. A world-spanning Rome, too. Rome with all of the imperial borders restored, extending right out into Persia as well. So, this is going to be interesting. Couple of things to mention then. Great comment by Elizabeth on last episode. Let me see if I can pull it up fast. Basically going into kind of a breakdown of what we can expect with this war with China. One thing I didn't know, a lot of it is common sense and good to remind me. It's stuff I know, but let's be honest, won't remember in the moment. But there's one thing I actually didn't know on that entire list, and I think it was something along the lines of, I'm trying to find my bloody video now to bring it up here quickly. Well, one thing I didn't know was that China are limited to 50%. Let me see if I can find it here. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, okay, so they're limited to 50% war score from occupation. That's pretty massive, but it does put more of an onus on defending our homelands. China also don't take attrition, too, which is something I found out the hard way, of course, last time we did this. So it's going to be quite... Although they do have to travel across the world to get to us by design, because you can call them in to invade enemy, you know, realms with 10,000 favor, they aren't supposed to take attrition damage, because, of course, that would mechanically be very silly if you... spent a long time trying to shatter the realm using China, and then they got here with 3 dudes because the rest starved to death. The AI isn't that good at managing. So we do want to fight them on the home field, but we will be fighting the full force of their armies regardless. What will happen, most likely, although there isn't a Suez Canal right now, I'm not entirely sure how it works in this situation. They normally, at least the last time I fought them, had ships spawn in the eastern points of the map, which they use to transport troops a little closer. Like I said, no Suez Canal, so they can't exactly get to us by doing that. They might bring troops up to kind of the Nile Delta and just walk round. That would be a lot quicker. What I'm thinking then how do we deal with this? Well, we're going to fight them on the home field. We also need to fight them in areas that make sense for pincer attacks. We don't want one gigantic unit because our retinue size, bear in mind I disbanded the retinue so that we could rebuild it fresh. Our retinue size is 350,000. That is a lot of troops. That's a ridiculous amount of troops. As a result, we need to make sure that those troops are split, but also still in a position whereby we can attack in. China could potentially have stacks of 50,000 units without having to worry about attrition. We don't have that luxury, even though these are our lands, right? So what we're going to have to do is be very careful about spreading our troops around in places where the supply is high and we can move in. Sorry if all this war talk is, you know, not so gripping as what we've had so far. A little bit boring, but we have to be careful with it. What I'm thinking then is looking at the map here, even though we've got, say, a Kingdom of Saxony here, the supply is going to be not great. Although saying that, it's better than the Kingdom of Germany. Obviously, it's based on the county itself and the modifiers there as well. If I'm not mistaken, though it doesn't say here, if I'm not mistaken, tribal realms get increased supply from the amount of holding slots they haven't developed. Might be wrong on that one. Regardless, Paris, obviously, I think it wouldn't make sense to fight them on the Isles here. The UK and Ireland, or Britain and Ireland in this case. Just because getting our troops there is going to be a pain in the arse, although the supply here is going to be phenomenal compared to mainland Europe, which has obviously just been through lots of wars, lots of cultural changes, big disease right now, fairly underdeveloped compared to these places that have had a much richer realm ruling them for a while. Though I'm looking at Bordeaux, I'm looking at Provence, I'm looking at the capital Brittany here, however you say that one, Paris as well, and I'm thinking if we could trap them in kind of the, what is this, the Bay of Biscay? Yeah, if we could kind of trap them in this area off the coast of Aquitaine, we could have 4 massive units stationed there and bring them in at the same time. It'd be very hard for them to escape that. Luxembourg has pretty terrible supply. What about around here? Yeah, look, like 41,000 there, 33,000, 28,000, 33, 38. We could have pretty massive death stacks, much as China are going to have here. I think we fight them in France if we're going to go for anywhere. And in that case, do we even want to go to the extent that we build forts everywhere too? Now, sure, they've only got 50% war score from total occupation, but we want to keep that. It's going to be a very hard-fought war. All of our war score will come from battles, and we will probably get up to 100% just from battles alone. It's not as if we're going to march over to the lands that they actually own under the Western Protectorate, which is anything in yellow here. We're not going to march over there. Okay, so in that case, I think we want to start fortifying and really, I don't want to say min-maxing, but we should use the resources that we have built up as the Han Horse people over the course of generations, and that is, of course, a ridiculous economy. If we've got one thing going for us, it is that. As a result, using our steward, who is an economic expert, getting him to oversee construction, minus 72% build time, build cost, a real war economy focused on building up France's defenses, specifically, forts everywhere, we get a lot of supply going, we do what we can in that regard. And we try and bait them over here. If we've got all of our armies stationed here, besides a defense force in Riceland, then I think we might be onto something. So that might be the way I go forward here. I think that's the kind of working plan, but we'll see how it goes. Next thing to worry about then. I think our borders are a little messy. We do still want to take out France here. Still got a bit of a vendetta there. Of course, it was our character's backstory. I want to tidy up our borders a little bit, make a stronger front here so that we can see a bit more clearly what we're up against, where they're coming in. It would be fantastic if we could take Italy. If I don't want to intentionally hold out longer than necessary, because with the succession, waiting for this character to die, etc., will lead to some instability. We'll have to please vassals. This character will have to train back up, get all the benefits that this character has. The years of experience with both martial and personal combat. Be a lot of planning. Granted, it might take that long to really prepare France to be the battleground we're going to turn it into. But if that does happen, we could use our next character's once per lifetime invasion cast spell, thanks to our bloodline, to jump on Italy. If we take the whole of Italy, that would really tidy up our borders quite nicely, but we would basically be saying all of this area here, which we're not gonna put our armies like right on the border, especially like around the Alps where the supply is terrible, it's underdeveloped. This is literally a tribe. We don't want to. I think what we're saying is we'd just sacrifice all this land if we do take Italy. Either make it independent, which would be the most sensible thing to do in my opinion, or we just say that's free war score for China. Because, again, I'm not going to bring my troops around this area where it's all massively underdeveloped to try and defend that, right? I think that would be a poor idea. So, That's the war plan for China. We'll talk more about that as we go on today. There is a real big elephant in the room, and in fact, there's a real big elephant on this map. And by elephant, I mean the Arabian Empire, which is world spanning. If there's a way we can introduce now it's kind of easy to sit here and say if we can make them unstable, that might help us. They're already unstable. They already have a child ruler, 6 years of age, in the middle of 5 rebellions currently. There is no way, because of the nature of this particular contract, this tributary contract, that the Xia Empire here, no, that's not how it's pronounced, that's what I'm going for, the Chinese Western Protectorate have with this guy. Even if we kill him, that'll just pass on to the next ruler. There's no way to break this alliance unless these guys go for it, unless they declare independence from them, at which point I think they probably win, because 32,000 versus 161,000. We can't afford a war with both. Right now would be a fine time to declare war on China. We're very unprepared, but it would be the best time to declare war because these guys are out of the picture. They're far too worried about their own internal stuff. But we could sit here and assassinate caliph after caliph after caliph and keep destabilizing. Because with every death is going to add an extra layer of complexity. Opinion of predecessor is probably already quite low, given the current ruler is a child. We keep relying on that one, try and bring that down to a nice neutral level. What's this next kid like? Foolish and weak. So if we assassinate this one because they've already got a low opinion of him, the next kid they'll have a lower opinion of because the opinion of predecessor. If we keep killing them fast enough, that will essentially stack up. There is a limit to how much we can do that, though. And to be honest, I very much doubt we could even assassinate them. We're accepting a ransom prisoner offer. Right, okay. Let's take a look, then. See what we can do in that regard. Plot to kill 158%. So actually, they're more disliked than I expected. That's kind of a surprise. Now, bearing in mind, as the Caliph, they are also the religious head. So any Sunni character, by default, is pretty much going to be called in by them to war. And that is a massive chunk of the world at this point, like a frightening size portion of the world there. Okay, if there's a way that we could divide the Caliphate and the Arabian Empire through some massive, like a massive rebellion would do it, where they want to take control of the empire, someone's installed, but the Caliphate goes or stays with the current ruler, you know, because of a title war. If we could divide that, that would be incredible. That would be the play. How are we going to do it though? So what do we, so peasant revolt there for Ifni. The peasant revolt for Kosti. You see, peasant revolts we don't have to worry about at all. So that's not really super relevant in my opinion. How do we even begin? Wow, this is tricky. I think then first port of call. I'll put a bookmark here on the video so that people can skip over all the war talk if that's what they're interested in. Long story short, TLDR, there's a lot of preparation here, both in terms of shutting up our own defenses, getting the timing right, maybe waiting for our next character, and trying to take the Arabian Empire out of the picture. That's what we're going to aim for here. Now, we've got to argue, is it metagaming? You know, this is always about playing the character, and I think the victory will be all the more sweeter if we don't break characters. If we were to join the Wolf Warriors, you know, get some bonuses there, Lifetime of War, Survivor, making us more resistant to battle injuries, eventually getting up to Call to Glory or Inspire Warriors, so enables you to right-click holding to instantly refill its garrison. If they were to take, you know, Riceland, we counter-siege it, we get the garrison back immediately. That'd be awesome. Would this character in her old age, 70 years old, you know, ready to manifest destiny, dawns on her overnight, shit, maybe we could do this mad plan. Would she join the Wolf Warriors? It's kind of hard to justify, in my honest opinion. But by doing that, we would also be able to maybe suggest politely to Lizard. Lizard the Hideous here. Hey, wait, what happened to her? Oh, right, she's married to Burger Chen. Part polar bear, part... What the fuck? Part polar bear, part dragon shrew. Dragon fox, man. I don't quite understand. That's okay. What do we do? This is difficult. This is really difficult. Oh, hang on. I've just worked it out. She was married to a bear, but the bear has become a dragon. There's a fantastic children's novel about Gerda Birgersdotter here. If anybody wants to write it, call it, you know, A Bear Amongst Dragons, My Family of Dragons. I don't know. It's a single bear child. older brother is a fucking dragon. Parents are both dragons, but the dad has a secret. I used to be a bear like you, and it's about coming to terms with who you are as a person, not necessarily on the outside, but within. If you write that, I want 50%. Right, okay. Wow. What do we do then? I'll be honest, I don't even know where to begin. Wolf Warriors. I mean, fight for Odin, the All-Father. Are we zealous? We are zealous. And, I mean, you can't deny, she is a warrior. We're praying for the biggest war of all time. Maybe she looks back. She looks up to the clouds, and there he is. Liu, remember who you are. And she thinks, oh my god, it's him. From all the way back at the start of the campaign, whose character's name I definitely remember. There he is. It's Varma the Ruthless among the clouds, voiced by none other than James Earl Jones. And he says, Liu, Godslayer, my great-great-great-great-great-granddaughter. Look to the, you've done a great job of, keeping the gods together. Thumbs up there. Great work. Nice one, pal. Also, by the way, I'd recommend the Wolf Warriors. Become fearsome. Increased chance of capturing enemy commanders. My god, there's a good argument for that, though, isn't there? We capture the leader of the Western Protectorate leading troops, or, some of the key Chinese commanders. That could be phenomenal. She has an epiphany of Varma the Ruthless. I kind of like that, because it kind of brings it full circle as well. We've gone from Norse to Han to Hanorse, and now a merger of all of that looking back at the Norse society to fight China. I like it. I think there's something there. God damn it, I'm in. Bjorn Thurnberg of the Warriors greets me with a brief nod. Another recruiter to join our ranks. He's Swedish. He's old Germanic. We're here to learn your ways. We're not so different, you and I, Bjorn. I gladly fight to prove myself. We are going to... First initiation duel, right? Wolf Warriors, ancient Norse band. This woman, this old ancient grandma turns up. 70 years of age, disease-riddled. A warrior of legend. Of course, they've heard of her. They probably look at her, think, she's coddled with her 16,000 wealth and her palaces and her decadent meals. She turns up, what she pull out of her pocket? Boom. Mjolnir, Gungnir, Gjallarhorn strapped to her back. We're about to murder this man. That was her doing the Gjallarhorn. Thanks, Mr. Skeletal. I take it I win this fight. Annihilated. Really, she should just be, immediately up to heroin, right? They should just throw her in there. Are you gonna let me in, though? Whoa! Your steward! King Fu Yan Wu has collected a special tithe in Dong Eastland. Where the hell did you find that? Just 30,000 gold behind the back of the sofa. We do need to save up as many monies as we can. Not only to invest heavily in the battlefield that will become France, but also to make sure we have a fallback. It's going to be an expensive war. I don't think we could ever raise enough troops to cost more than we earn. That would be ridiculous, but we might want to hire mercenaries or bribe people, get some vassals together, whatever. All right, here we are. We're in. Sympathy for pagans. Honestly, I feel like that makes a lot of sense for the character. Oh, she lost Zealous as a result. That doesn't make any bloody sense. I guess, even though it's Dow Germanic, because she's Dow Germanic, it doesn't, of course, count as a pagan religion. But here we are. Well, okay then. Let's get on with it. So I think, let's commit to this idea. We could build forts, of course, lodges, because we are using that module, the foundation mod. Lodges, or forts in this case, do outside of your realm work the same as forts as always work, but it's in your capital. They get a bunch of unique effects, of which I've finished frighteningly little. Although there are, kind of 5 or 6 events based around lifestyles within your lodge. Let's get these thrown down. They do at fort level. They've got a garrison. We can build up some stuff there too. This is all the stuff for your capital. Slight spoiler, I suppose, for the foundation mod. Don't worry about that. So what we want to go for then is anything that will give... fort walls. That would be massive if we could build the forts up significantly enough. Bear in mind, at fort level 6 or above, they can't assault down holdings. They're going to have death stacks immune to attrition. If we've got fort walls in all the key places, that would be pretty massive. That'd be kind of huge. So I'm gonna go for that. Let him rot. I'm gonna go for that, and we're gonna just kind of go around all of the capitals here. Because we don't have any of our kings being captured, any of our significant vassals, even if a lot of these places we're probably not going to move into with our troops. I want to make sure we're as protected as possible. We could go even further, and we could go to every single province here, and we could build forts. I'm not going to do that, but I'm going to pick a bunch of key places kind of in central France, Aquitaine area, to get a bunch of forts down for the purposes of defense, right? This is where I'm going to try and bait a lot of the battles over to, because these are all the best places for supply. Let's just kind of expand out over towards the Alps a little bit more, then we'll head back up to Dijon and Paris. Yeah, I think that's all right. And that should fill out most of that with some good fort levels. Let's throw in a couple more here. We can afford it. We can afford it. It's just more the fact that there are some very, very small counties, and I'm almost certainly going to miss a few here and there. Right. How is that looking? Okay, very nice. Then, capital time. Let's get every single part of the capital with a fully upgraded fort. And then, ideally, young Kor has finished, or Chor has finished his education in the ways of war. Does rhyme. I was trying not to laugh at it, but that is pretty damn funny. Can she build anything in the lodge? Oh, she can build the hunter's lodge. Because she is a hunter. That's how that works. Again, spoilers. You're not allowed to know that yet. I say then let's go. Just fortified camp is better, very expensive. It also gives the military attack points for the same effect for like 3 times a god. I think that's all a waste. Let's go fort walls absolutely everywhere. Fort level is the most important thing we've got going here. I'm sure these places already have a fort level of 6. I didn't even see the fort level. That's a bloody good point. 2.3. Oh dear. 2.3. It's this here. Sorry, just to point it out there. That's because these are cities, right? So cities by design are much easier to siege. I guess we'll throw down some city walls then. This is getting a little too inside baseball for me. It's freaking me out, by the way. This is more preparation for war than I've ever done in the whole of everything we've ever played on CK2. Right, that'll do there. And then I'm hoping we'll get a pop-up saying, you know, blah, blah, blah has been built. Then we can go to wherever that is and sort that out. Let me just see if I can... There. Right, we want that to actually pop up. Then we can keep an eye on it a little bit better. So city construct... So we're not going to get notified about the... Oh, shit. That's annoying, isn't it? About the lodges being constructed? No. Okay, that's annoying. And we can toggle... Oh, we can toggle between them. Fantastic. Is there a shortcut key for that? B. B for... Become next. Oh, I don't want to go through everything. Although we could. We could just sit here and upgrade fucking everything. I mean, it'd be absolutely obscene. But you know what? God damn it, I'm in. We'll only build, like, the key kind of constructions here. Fort walls. This is the type of thing. I think it would probably be sensible to edit out. Oh, it's only within that duchy. So if we pick the kingdom title... Oh, is it everything controlled by a ruler? So if I pick, say, Paris, we open this up. And we say upgrade that. And then we go through everything. Will that go through everything this guy owns? Because that'd be really handy. I think we'll try that. Oh, that's a fair point. Another thing we can leverage here is... I'm going through every building in the entire realm. It's going to take a little while here. But what occurred to me is we have a ridiculous republic. We have a massive republic, right? Can we even see... I mean, it's not great. You know, you can't really see much going on here. But we do control a pretty sizable amount. And all of those trade posts can have garrisons, which is gigantic. So all of those give +1 fort level. Between that and the lodges, bear in mind we've built those in places that make the most sense as well in terms of, you know, kind of economy, location, that type of thing. So this is pretty huge. Take a little while just to upgrade everything though, so bear with me. Okay, first step down then. Garrisons are going to be popping up just left, right, and center right now. Who are we burning? Guida Musicanus. Was it House Musicanus that kicked us out of the... university all those years ago? I'll let you go. The highly suspicious. Oh, maybe I won't. Shit. Oh, is she one of the iconoclast vassals in secret? Shying away from... She's a deceitful, cruel... proud, gluttonous, slothful, arbitrary. She's zealous, but she could be secretly zealous. Highly suspicious. Chance it's actually more likely she's part of the Devil Worshipper Society. In that case, I'm gonna burn her. Nothing like a little bit of unity before a grand war, huh? Hello. Yes, this is what I was hoping for. It's come to our attention that your daughter Lizard remains outside of the fold. Yes, accepted. Let's see if A, she'll join. Yes, good. She smiles broadly at my encouragement. I thought you would never ask. I'll contact Torstein right away. Get some warrior training in here. In the case that we die, either mid-war or before the war begins, we need her to be ready. She sounds like she's up for it. That's great news. A literal dragon leading the war against China for the throne of the Jade Dragon DLC, of course, would be very much on brand. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, there you go. She joined me for dinner tonight. It was exhilarating, Mother, and now I'm one of the Wolf Warriors. Great news. Okay. That's also a point of a shield maiden if she will take it. She has taken it. That's fantastic. Bit of personal combat, bit of religious same trait opinion. Fantastic news. She may be made a commander. We already have full equality, of course, in our domain. So it's a small thing there. Doesn't really mean anything. But it's nice with the personal combat. So a little personal combat bonus there. So let's get building up these fort walls. We need to, hopefully, by the bare minimum, get at least a fort upgrade to level 6 in each of the capital provinces here, just to stop any immediate sieges. And again, in those capitals across Europe where we're going to be fighting. This is a complete mess, isn't it? My God. So you're still building that there. Great news. That one's already upgrading. Fantastic. Let's get some fort walls down, people. Come on, AI. Build for yourself. For God's sake, think for yourself for a change. Good Lord. We've got a massive world war coming. You people sitting on thousands of gold, I assume. I mean, kind of, yeah. Gira Jorison. House Jorison is flourishing. She's redeemed it. Hong? Oh, no. Ingrid Jorison. Okay, Transnistria. That's fine. Then we've got Arnie. Prince Arnie Jorison of Burgundy. Look at that. Joris Jorison and our grandfather, the Lady of Godslayer, Empress Godslayer Frederick. It's very confusing. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Right, we got to make sure our vassals are happy as well. That's another key thing. How are we looking for all the upgrades coming in? Here we go. That's garrison level 1. I'm hoping we can upgrade a lot of these garrisons up to the next level as well, because that would be pretty massive. Bloody hell. Oh, wow. Just a sudden pop of a shitload more garrisons. This is preparation, all right. There you go. Oh, my God. Maybe this is a little bit too far, huh? Oh, I mean the pop-ups, that is. This is not yet far enough. Okay. Well, I was just doing a tad bit of building here and there. And our good friend, Basilius Theodolus, the guy that we married off to our granddaughter wants an alliance. I mean, it's 15,000 more troops, isn't it? Is he at war? Is he looking for help? 96% in favor of him. No, he doesn't need help from anybody. You know what? God damn it, I'll take it. What if that's an alternate route? Because the more land we take, the more we have to manage. What if we were to just form alliances with Italy and Pannonia? Instead, build this unified front, because that way the AI can handle their own troops. We can command them to some extent, but they'll do their own shit without having to wait for input from me. That could make a lot of sense. So we've got the remains of the Byzantine Empire, which right now is, what, like Sicily and some kind of fractured states here and there. Maybe we could do that. Well, I mean, look, I know that we're the scourge of the Catholic realm or whatever, but King Gerardo the Pious of Italy, I come bearing gifts. Dense, -4. Weak. Hairlip. Possessed. Drunkard. He's a mixed bag, isn't he, really? Okay. Oh, shit. All right, big man. Here we go. Let's throw you an artifact. We can't give him the inepti because, of course, they're non-fungible. But I will give him some crappy artwork that's really doing very little for me. There you go. Perfect. And then... Did that not give us any opinion? Or am I going insane? Oh, did we not actually get any opinion for that? Plus 15 opinion. Send. Maybe you just didn't give a shit about the artwork? No. It's not working. Oh, how bizarre. Okay, never mind then, I suppose. Let's sway him. Prince Lorenzo of Italy. Arrange a marriage between... I mean, this is the part of CK2 we've never done, right? Alliances and marriages, securing non-aggression pacts. That's a massive part of CK2, and we've kind of relied a lot on ourselves. Maybe to defeat China, we need to unify with these other people. Select a spouse. Yeah, no, I can not choose a spouse. Ah. I need to try arrange betrothal rather than trying to marry him off to an old man. What about my granddaughter? No. Will not consider offer from infidels. I assume then... Oh, that's the Duke of Genoa. Although he's excommunicated. I wonder if we could win this guy over. Maybe we could potentially... Because he's educating that guy's son. This guy gets to decide for some reason who he gets married to. Want some calligraphy? Big man, take it. All yours. Oh! God say a lizard's out there making a name for herself. Holy crap. Splattered in blood. I like it. Okay, here you go, here you go. Let's try that again. So I want to go back to you. And then arrange betrothal. Not between me and him. That would be very silly. Still no. So he's too concerned about that. Is there any other way we could get a marriage here? Prince Benedetto. I mean, as long as it's a direct heir. No? Don't consider offer from infidels. They're too strict on that front. Shit. Could be a problem. Cathar, I still will think will be the same story, but we might as well try. There's no harm in trying. Arrange betrothal matrilineally between... No, we'll not consider offer from infidels. Damn it. I mean, it was an idea. No! Okay. Wow. I was in the middle of just changing some message settings, and then right as that was finished, it couldn't have been any more perfect timing. Lewis died. The age of 72. And you know what? I feel a bit more vindicated now having not declared war and taking that little extra time to tidy things up, because we wouldn't be done. We would have been nowhere near finished. Wow. Okay, so Liu has died at the age of 72. She died of cancer, as we kind of expected there. She was known for her sharp and brilliant mind, always looking for new problems to solve and new opportunities to exploit. And now we have Lizard, the Hideous. Wow, we need to get her a better nickname. That should be the goal for this character. A giant dragon with Mjolnir equipped is a phenomenal sight. She's sure to be admired by her subjects. Long live Empress Lizard. We will now play as Gandalf. We've been elected. We have had all of the artifacts transferred. So I've changed the message settings, like I said, to be things that will make a bit more sense with regards to... Oh, of course. Yeah, of course we're going to pay the gold for Mjolnir. Things that will make more sense for things like imprisonment, for example. Things that make sense when we're going to be in the middle of the war. So I've just in message settings... Oh, we did lose a little territory there too. We lost Toulouse. Oh, weird. Why, of all places, did we lose Toulouse? Is Catholic. Well, we'll take it back. Oh, peasant leader. He took Toulouse. Oh, bizarre. Okay, well, we'll take that back in a minute. So things like if sieges kick off now, we'll be notified about that, and we'll get the opportunity to go and stop it. You get nothing. Sorry. There you go. So pop up right there. A holding in what is supposed to be a row there is under siege. So that way we can react a little bit better. And things like people going to the dungeon. Don't really care about, you know, people being released from dungeon, but it's more specifically if our relatives get put in prison during the war. Wow. First battle here. Our dragon's got a spear and is riding a horse there, which is hilarious. First battle, we've picked up a leadership trait. My god, Lizard, you could be on the path to greatness already. We've only just started. What do you think, then? Master flat terrain, master cavalry, heavy foot, light infantry. Flat terrain, if we're going to try and draw China into a war across France, would be imperative. Bear in mind, France is almost entirely flat terrain. You got a few hills towards the south, of course, more towards the Alps. But everything else, from, you know, the Bay of Biscay over to Pannonia, there is just flat terrain. Cavalry, there's a strong argument for. Bear in mind, our highest advance in technology is cavalry. Ah, that's a hard one. Flat terrain, though, and then if we could upgrade that trait, that would be insane. I think we'd take flat terrain. I think it's a necessary addition. Focus on war. This character was not trained for war, but my god, she has an aptitude for it like no other. Just absolutely incredible character. She's trained in intrigue, of course. And part of that, I would argue the greatest plot of all is putting our dynasty on the throne of China, right? So I think it still works for this character. But, of course, maybe the final time we ever do this in the series, we have to randomize this particular character's backstory based on the random backstory generator available down in the description. Let me very quickly pull up the... well, yesterday's video for a start, and then let's take a look. Backstory generator. No pressure, but I need something. I need something kind of huge. So let's. When it loads, is the internet down? Maybe. Oh no, it's fine. There we go. Submit query, and we have motivation. Oh, this is very, very, very open-ended. You hated your mundane life, so when it was time for someone to step up and do the right thing, you took your chance. A very open-ended character to end the campaign on, but potentially, of course. And I do quite like that. Origin, you sought instructions to gain a deeper understanding of existence and your place in the world. Okay. Right, so maybe a bit more of a religious aspect coming in there. A bit more harmony. Maybe good representation for the religion and kind of our culture as well. So sorry, just to recap there. You hated your mundane life, so when it was time to step up and do the right thing, you took your chance. Maybe that, we could say, is in relation to, of course, our character, our previous character, Liu, joining the Wolf Warriors right in her twilight years, and then our character immediately stepping up and getting in there, seeing that this is maybe an opportunity. She was born with that, you know, with a bit more of that military or at least combat inclination. Powerful character there. Martial diplomacy, of course. Health +2. What's her health score? 9.5. Bloody hell. Fledgling and Wolf Warriors. Only fairly low down for now, but maybe we'll find an aptitude for it. Very open-ended character to end things on. Okay. Diligent. Greedy. Okay, that's kind of interesting. Okay, diligent. Trusting. Cruel. Chaste. So chaste doesn't necessarily mean that they're against marital relations, but they're unlikely to have extramarital affairs, so that's fair enough. So maybe don't take any consorts, might be something we want to do with this character. Ambitious, that's nice. Ambitious, diligent is always a fantastic combo. Deceitful. Okay, yeah, of course, that's pretty good with her intrigue. We want to win and step up and do that great thing by any means necessary, is how I'm seeing this character. Diligent, greedy, cruel, ambitious, deceitful are all building up to be, again, a kind of character who will stop at nothing to get what she wants. And I quite like that. Not arbitrary, not necessarily just either, so either one of those would definitely help mold the character a little bit. And then, of course, just a bunch. We've got sympathy for Christians and pagan, which is very bizarre. Maybe she was iconoclast and converted back, I wonder. Rejected it. Quick and powerful. Very nice combo there. I guess we'll become a paragon of virtue. It actually makes a lot of sense for the for that other kind of religious aspect. I don't remember the exact phrasing. I've closed the page. But that makes a lot of sense because it does affect moral authority of the religion, learning for the character, piety. I think it makes a lot of sense. So Crew 2000 piety will also try to step up and become great. No pressure, Lizard, but you got the world on your shoulders right now. I think we'll keep our crown focus in Sea Eastland, LG Eastland, just so that we can try and get that holding slot that we've been trying to go for bloody years now. Still nothing. The only place without a holy site is the one in our bloody capital duchy. Very, very typical. Let's go ahead and employ... Actually, no, let's not do that. Because I think we could probably just give them the titles. So I've also set it up so that we should be notified if any of our chancellors die. So that way if we're mid-war and we lose our marshal or whatever, it'll pop up and say your marshal's gone. Won't get buried in all the stuff happening in the notifications tab. Let's go ahead and get this set up fast then. There you go. Want to try and keep people happy. As Bear is going to be in charge of everything. Here. Focus on investing. Always focus on investing. Take some money. Do what you like with it. Inquisitors. We would just want to kind of pick people with lower opinions of us here. Just keep a little bit of realm unity. Although everybody does like us quite a lot. Actually, yeah, we're quite beloved. It almost might make more sense to give it to a duke at this point. Court tutor. This dragon. No, well, who do we want to pick here? Someone, I guess, with high stats? The bear is pretty good. Gandalf was getting a little old. High learning? Learning and genius. Lynn. Alright, you sound pretty good. That's just the people, of course, who will look after children. So diligent, quick, genius are all very good for that. Watcher of Giants from our... which one is that? That's the Colossus, right, of the Isle of Man. Give that to Jing, the Queen of Germany. Member of Parliament never works, so we'll ignore that one. Commanders are a bit hit and miss, right? 13? Give it to the bear. I love the idea of China coming over, like, without hearing all these rumors of dragons and bears. They dismiss it. They turn up. There's a dragon leading the forces on the back of a horse, flanked by bears, bear-dragon hybrids, legendary characters, you know, remnants of Gary Prime kicking around, all that weird shit going on. Bob Ross's descendants. What a complete state this is. This is like Avengers Endgame. Except in this case, it's just a fever dream. Let's go ahead and change some of these commanders out. Really, I should be looking at command traits rather than just giving them time marshals, so something to consider. And that's probably generally why the game chose some over others. Like, for example, this one is Trickster, 21, so arguably better than 23 with no leadership trait, but for the time being, we'll leave it. If we could set our marshal up, what have you got anything special? Heavy infantry leader. Set our marshal up to also organize the army, see if he can improve our commanders. That'd be nice, because then he can try and train our troops a little bit. I also want to hire some, like, if we could, getting, like, some Chinese strategist as our martial expert. Teach our commanders their strategies. That'd be pretty nice. Turns out we couldn't actually fill up our tutors after all. Sure. There you go. Administration. Welcome, welcome. And then philosophy. Hello. And finally... Actually, you know what? It's better to always call a tutor than call a Chinese tutor because it's a lot cheaper. Who have we got? We must have a horse then. We got Chinese ceremonial horse. I think we need a wolf. A dragon on the back of a wolf flanked by bears. That sends a message, doesn't it? Visit the Mount Market. Let's see if we can buy... Oh, we can only buy horses. Okay, buy a war charger. That's probably better than a bloody ceremonial horse. Oh, there's none available. Classic. No one can supply you with that. Your money has been refunded. Bollocks. Fine. Whatever. We'll just use our Chinese ceremonial horse. That's fair enough. Well, okay, here we go. So, everything is upgrading here. I had it broken up into duchies there very briefly just so I could kind of go through individually and make sure things are being built and just kind of go through it all. The center of France now is pretty goddamn fortified by comparison. Like our capital, of course. Did the forts persist? Yeah, they should. So without this mod, without the foundation mod, forts would disappear when your character dies. But of course, if you're putting buildings here and spending a fortune on it, seems a bit like you would never do it, right? I don't really care. Actually, if characters get released from prison, gonna be honest, we'll get rid of that one. There you go. My liege, a highly prosperous economy. Yes, all right. I want to save a bit more cash, and I suppose we'll start working on the retinue. Lots of preparations there. I apologize, it's going to be fairly slow compared to usual. Retinue cap is higher than before. Why? What is it, like martial that affects that? But she had 52 martial, didn't she, when she died? How bizarre. I have no idea. I'm not complaining, of course. Oh, probably some of the upgrades we've built. Naturally. All the garrisons and shit. So, I think we want to avoid throwing any mass retinues. And I think, honestly, we just want to go for equal amounts of all of them. And just do this. And then take as many equal bands of troops as possible. It's probably a little too much cavalry compared to everything else. But honestly, why not? Why not take the extra cavalry? You don't need, of course, as much cavalry as you have. We've got as much cavalry there as we've got heavy infantry, for example. A little unnecessary, but I quite like it. I think it's kind of fun. Especially when we've got all those cavalry bonuses, right? So we might as well go for it. Can we afford to completely outfit this army? Not even bloody close. We're not even going to get halfway. We might just get halfway. It's a bit unnecessary to do it like this, right? Click 5 times on one, then click 5 times on the other. But you know what? I like doing it this way now. Oh, no way. We actually did get over halfway. Wowee, look at that. We need to buy more cavalry next then. Wow. Okay. Already fairly sizable. Shouldn't die to attrition in the capital, particularly not as we were reinforcing his 65,000 troops. Yikes. And that's another 58,000 on top of that. How's Arabia looking? Let's get back to destabilizing here. And hey, we've got ourselves a cruel, ambitious, diligent, spy master-based character. A web weaver. If anybody's going to take apart this realm, it could be our current character. In seclusion currently, either because they've got a plot against them or because there's an outbreak. Probably the outbreak, to be honest. Yeah. So that explains that one. Let's get to work ripping this apart. A lot of people want them dead, so this could be easier than I expected. Oh, a Catholic revolt. Hello. Okay. That was unexpected. Well, luckily we've got troops like right there. Let's go clap those raiders, or at least scatter them. New clan has risen under blah, blah, blah. Thank you. Really do not give a shit. People have been in prison. No. I don't think you understand. I don't really care. Well, I mean, I care. But I don't care about your close family members. Oh, I suppose we'll leave it on. Why do you count as a close family member? My half-sister or aunt, I think? Mother's half-sister, right? No. No, not even close. Mother's... Oh, so this is our great half-aunt. I'm not sure there's a name for that, because it's not really so relevant. Oh, but actually, it's popping up about characters I don't care about. Ah, hey, there you go. A few more upgrades coming in here and there. No, well, that's the revolt ended. Thank you. Brilliant. Okay, well, let's put our Spy Master to good work then, which is our current character. Actually, our Spy Master too could be put to good work. Do we have anyone better? Ooh, 21. That's kind of low for this stage of the game. I expected higher. Right. Damascus. Oh, look at that. So we can get, with the fort walls fully upgraded, it's a fort level of 5. You need fort level of 6 to stop people being able to assault, which is where you can just, if you've got superior units, just knock it down instantly, as we have been doing here. With this as well, the fortified camp, that gives another +1 on top. So we're going to go through and just quickly crack those out. We're out of money, of course. We'll let some time tick here, I guess. Wow. I'm glad we've spent our whole treasury. That feels like we've actually, you know, done a little bit of investing here. And that means that the capital is immune to any sort of instant siege. Gandalf or Pemerson? No, I think he's actually fine. No, I say leave him. Let him live his life. We will take some monetary compensation, though. Pay for our fortified camps. And with that, we've got a fort level of 6 in all of the capital now. And that's the same thing I want to aim for kind of all this central area. A lot of them have the kind of starting upgrades. What about you? 4.5. Man, this is going to be so expensive. Measles is broken out in you. Me? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can't help it. Okay. So for today, let's leave it there, because this is, even with the editing, I think this is still going to be a very long time of just kind of building up, getting preparations in place, really just working towards it. Apologize that it's kind of been a slow episode today, because we had the succession, which is very relevant. But a lot of it has been planning and kind of carefully building buildings that I wouldn't normally go to that extent. But I do think it'll help out massively if we can lock a lot of it down, force them into long sieges, which will take their troops away where attrition won't. So it's a necessary evil. And now we are a dragon, which is quite fun. Are we in a situation where I think we can take them on? And look, at some point we're going to have to call it. We could sit here for the next week or two, IRL, just building up constantly, trying to get up to a level where we think we can take them, at which point we'll probably just steamroll them. I think realistically we could. There is always the potential to be able to take them now and win. I want to make sure that we put up a good fight, though. I don't just want it to be, you know, we're at 95% war score, then we happen to capture the guy leading the war, and then we win. That's really boring. So that's going to be my goal here. I want a good battle out of this. You know, showcase our round versus our real fight, because that'll make it all the more sweeter. And I think tomorrow will be you know, we'll be focusing on a new character, building them up, going through the society, whatever else. Of course, still building up in the background. Still going to have to keep editing it, I think, doing a lot more lightly edited stuff here. But tomorrow, I think, will be the final episode of preparation. 2 episodes should be enough to get that done. I think by that time, we'll have a lot of stuff going for us. We'll hopefully build up a bit more cash. And then we'll be ready. See you all then.